Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I go by Nadimi on the internet and this is my crafty space. Hi, hello, and welcome everybody. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the heart friendship bracelet, which looks like this right here. I'm going to be doing an in-depth tutorial for this, which basically means that I'm going to go over how to make the loop and the teardrop part of the loop as well, how to do the pattern itself, how to do the triangle ends and the twisted ties at the end. But I will say that I do recommend knowing how to make a chevron bracelet before this and also knowing all of the knots as well. Even though this is a beginner pattern, I still would recommend knowing that beforehand. I'm also going to put the link to my chevron tutorial in the card right there and in the description, so you guys can check that out if anybody's interested in it. I'm going to be putting timestamps for everything in the description if you only want to see a certain part of this video, and also the pattern for this bracelet will be in the description as well if you want to follow along with the pattern. Now, I will say also that this bracelet took me about an hour to make, but that also depends on your skill level, so this is technically quite a quick bracelet as well. So yeah, let's get right on into making the bracelet itself. Okay guys, so let's go over the materials that you guys are going to need. So the first thing is some tape or a clipboard, basically something to connect to your work surface. So I'm basically going to make my bracelet on a desk, so I'm just going to be using some tape. The next thing you guys are going to need are some scissors just to cut your embroidery floss. And the last thing you're going to need is some embroidery floss like this. You're going to need 2 colors, and you're going to need to have 4 meters of each color. And I'll explain in a second how to cut your strings. And then the last thing that you don't have to have, but I would recommend, is a ruler like this one, just so you can measure out your bracelet at the end to see how long it is. So yeah, let me show you guys how to cut your strings. Okay guys, so to make this bracelet, you guys are going to need 2 different colors of embroidery floss, and you're going to need to have at least 4 meters of each. So you're going to need 2 colors. One is going to be for the heart part, and one is going to be for the background, like you can see on this bracelet. And so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to cut 2 strands of 2 meters from each string, and then we're going to fold them over to make 4 strands of 1 meter of each color. I hope that made sense. So yeah, basically that's what you're going to need to do, and then I will meet you back here after I have cut my strings. Okay guys, so I have now cut 2 strands of 2 meters in each of my colors, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them in half. So I'm going to take one of my ends and the other end and just fold them in half to find the middle of my strings. And now what I've done is I've created 4 strands of 1 meter, and I have now a loop at the top. Now this is what I want to have so I can make my loop. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of tape like this one right here, and I'm just going to kind of put it in the middle of my loop like this, and I'm basically kind of going to find my middle, and I'm just basically going to place it down on my table or on my workspace like so. And now I'm basically going to be starting my loop. So to make a loop, what you're going to do is first find your middle like this, and then you're going to take the color you want your loop in. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make this color right here, the red, is going to be the color of my hearts, and the pink is going to be the color of my background. So if you want the color of your loop to match the color of your hearts, you can do it with your red string, and if you want the color of your loop to match the color of your background, you can do it with your pink string. I'm going to start with my red right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing a forward-backward knot. So I'll be quickly going over these knots. I'm assuming you guys already know how to do all of these knots. I'm just going to be quickly going over them though. So I'm going to be doing a 4 and then going under and through the loop like that, and then pulling. But don't pull too tight because there is tape here and you don't want to make the tape kind of move too much. So just kind of lightly pull on that, and then you're going to do a backward knot. So under and through the loop again. Oh, and I did forget to mention that I am left-handed, so I hope that doesn't confuse anybody. It just means that I make my knots a little bit differently, but it's still the same idea, even if you are right-handed. So that is a forward-backward knot, the one we just did right now. And we're going to be doing 3 more of those on this side. So let me do 3 more forward backward knots. So a 4 under and through the loop like that, and then a backward 4 like that, under and through the loop. And I'm just going to continue that 2 more times. Okay guys, so I have done 4 forward backward knots, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my work. So I'm going to take off my tape, and before I do that, I just want to show you guys quickly. Do you see how we have 4 of those little kind of dots on the top? So that kind of indicates that we've done 4 of those forward backward knots. So now what we're going to do is we're going to basically flip our work this way, and we're going to tape our work on the other side like that. And now you can see that what we've done is, since we flipped our work, you can see that now there was a notch on the side right here. And now there isn't one over here. So we want to make sure we keep it that way. So I'll show you what to do. So we have to flip your work over, and you place your tape back on like that. And now what we're going to do is we are going to continue the exact same thing, but this time we're going to start with a backward forward knot. So we're going to do 4 backward forward knots this time. So basically how you do that is you do a backward 4 like that, under and through the loop, pull through. Oh, see, my tape isn't holding that very well. And then we do a 4 under and through the loop again. And that is a backward forward knot. So we're going to do that 3 more times. So I have now done this 4 more times, and now if you take a look at what we've done, if you really look closely at it, sorry, I'll look at it from the side, you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little ridges at the top. So that's what you want to have. Now, just make sure that when now when you're placing your loop back down on the table, that it doesn't look like this. As you can see right here, you can see that the little ends right here don't have like a little ridge at the top. You don't want that. So you want to place it on this side where you have those little ridges at the ends. So now what you want to do is we're going to place that back on the table. So I'm just going to bring all my strings together. Sorry, let that focus. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of tape, and this is how I like to place it on the table. You can of course do it your own way, but this is what I like to do. I just cut my tape kind of down the center. Not down the center, sorry, kind of to the side, and then I just cut another cut right up here, and that basically gives me a little piece of tape right here, and I just put it through my loop, kind of like that, to hold it onto the table, like that. I hope you saw what I just did, and then I just place it down on the table like this, and you always want to make sure that you've placed the loop down correctly. That's what I'm just checking right now. And then I take another piece of tape. So I'm going to take another piece of tape and just place that over the piece of tape that I've just put down, like so. And that's how I like to secure my bracelet to my table. Okay guys, so now that we've secured our bracelet to the table, what we're going to do is we're going to start doing the teardrop part of the loop, which is this part down here. I'm going to be starting on my left side, and I'm going to first take the color of my background. So for me, that is a pink, as you guys can see right here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a forward backward knot onto this bundle of string right here, this bundle that comes out of the loop. So I'm just going to be doing a forward backward knot on that. So a 4 inside and through the loop, and then a backward 4 inside and through the loop. Like that. So now you can see that our thread is facing outward. So now we don't want to touch this string anymore. We just leave it aside. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our strings and we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to do a forward backward knot again. So a 4 under and through the loop, and then a backward 4 under and through the loop. And same thing with this string. We're going to put it off to the side and we're not going to touch it anymore. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our background strings. So for me, that's the pink. And I'm just going to be doing again, a forward backward knot. So a 4 under and through the loop, and a backward 4 under and through the loop, like that. So now we have finished the teardrop part on this side. Okay guys, so now we're going to move on to our left side of the loop. So to do that, we're going to take, again, our background color, one of them, and instead of doing a forward-backward knot, we're going to be doing a backward-forward knot. So to do that, we're going to do a backwards 4 under and through the loop, and then we're going to be doing a 4 under and through the loop. And then we're going to take our next color, which is going to be the color of our hearts, which for me is red. And we're, again, going to be doing the same thing, so a backward forward knot. So to do that, we're going to be doing a backward 4 and a regular 4 under and through the loop. And now, again, we're going to take our background string, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing, so a backward 4 under and through the loop, and then a 4 under and through the loop, like that. So now we have almost finished our teardrop loop. And to finish off our teardrop loop, all we're going to do is we're going to be doing a knot between our 2 red strings. So to do that, we're going to be just doing a forward knot or a backward knot. I personally like backward knots better because I'm left-handed, so they're easier for me. So that's what I'm going to do. So as you guys just saw, I did a backward 4 under and through the loop, and then I'm going to just do the exact same thing. Now you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you keep some tension in the top, kind of when you're doing this knot right here, to make sure that it doesn't get undone. So like that. Did you see that? I just took off the tension and it got undone. So make sure that you keep the tension there. There you go. Like that. So now I have finished making my teardrop loop. So now let's move on to the pattern. Okay guys, so to start doing our pattern, what we're going to do is we are going to start on our right side. So that's how I'm going to start. And we're going to take our pink string at the end, and we're going to kind of separate it from our other strings. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold our pink string in one hand and our red string in the other, and we're going to be doing a backward knot onto the red string. So to do that, just a backward 4 under and through the loop, and then another backward 4 under and through the loop again. And now we're going to continue doing backward knots on the rest of our strings till we get to the middle. And basically what I'm going to call our middle is right here between these 2 red strings at the end. Okay guys, so I have reached the middle right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to my left side, and I'm going to take the pink string as well on the end of, on the edge right here. And what I'm going to do is, instead of doing backward knots on all the strings, I'm going to do forward knots on all the strings, including this pink one right here. So to do a forward knot, you're just going to be doing a 4 under and through the loop, and then another 4 under and through the loop, like that. And you're just going to continue that until you get to the middle, and also do it on your pink string. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a forward knot between these 2 strings in the middle as well. Okay guys, so that is the first row complete. And now what we're going to do is we're going to separate these 2 strings as well, so we have a defined middle. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to start on my left side. And what we're going to do is we're going to separate these 2 strings at the end, the red and the pink. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take the pink string, and we're going to do a backward knot onto the red string. So to do that, we're going to do a backward 4 under and through the loop, and then a backward 4 under and through the loop again. And now what we're going to do is we're going to place this pink string off to the side because we're not going to use it anymore. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our red string that we just made a knot onto, and our red string that's beside the other red string. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the string that was just, a knot was just made onto it, and we're going to do a forward knot onto the next string. And then we're also going to be doing a forward knot onto this pink string, like so. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put all these strings off to the side again, and now we're going to be working on our right strings. So we're going to do the exact same thing, just with the opposite knots. So basically what I mean by that is we're going to take our red string and our pink string again. And this time we're going to do a forward knot with our pink string onto our red string. So to do that, again, a 4 under and through the loop. And then a 4 under and through the loop, like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put our pink string off to the side. And we're going to take our red string that we just made a knot onto and our other red string that is right beside it, and we're going to take the red string that we just made a knot onto, and we're going to do a backward knot onto the red string. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to the pink string. So we're also going to make a backward knot onto it, and we're also going to make a backward knot onto this red string that is in the middle. Like so. And now we have finished our second row of our pattern. So now what we're going to do, again, I always like to move my strings kind of like this so I can define the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to do basically the exact same thing on this row as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our red string and our pink string on the left side, and we're going to make a backward knot onto the pink string with the red string. So exactly like we did on the last round, like this. So backward 4 under and through the loop, and do that twice. And then we're going to put our red string off to the side because we're not using that anymore. And then we're going to take our pink string and our other pink string right here, and we're going to be doing forward knots until we reach the middle. Like that. So now I have reached the middle with my pink string. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put these strings to the side except for the pink string. So I'm going to just leave that in the middle because we are going to make a knot onto that. And then we're going to take our right side and we're going to take these two pink and red strings on the side, and we're going to do the exact same thing we did on the last row. So basically we're going to take our red string and we're going to do a forward knot onto our pink string. And then what you want to do is we're going to take our pink string that we just made a knot with the red string onto, and we're going to take our other pink string that's right beside it, and we're going to make a backward knot onto our pink string. And then we're going to keep on doing backward knots on the red string and the pink string that is in the middle. And now we have finished all of our tricky rows. And now what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to find the middle. And now we're basically going to do a chevron with the red strings on the sides. So I'll explain that through though. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our red string. I'm going to start on my right side. And we're going to just do backward knots until we reach the middle. Like so. So now I've made all of my backward knots and reached the middle, and I'm going to leave my red string in the middle, but these strings right here, these three, can go off to the side because we're not going to use them anymore. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my left side and I'm going to be doing forward knots until I reach the middle, including on that red string right here that is in the middle. And like I said, we're going to be making a knot between these two strings in the middle. And yeah, guys, that is basically it for the pattern. So you're just going to be repeating that first row to this row right here. So all of these 4 rows until you get to the end. So on this bracelet, what I did is I made 10 of these hearts on it, but you basically want to continue making the bracelet until you've reached 15 centimeters or 6 inches. That is kind of how long I make my bracelets usually, and I will meet you at the end to show you guys how to make these triangle ends and how to make the twisted ties as well. So yeah, I'll meet you when I'm finished the bracelet. Okay guys, so I have finished making my pattern. So I've made it to, I think, about 14 centimeters. Yes, it's 14 centimeters, which is about 5.5 inches. So that's how long I've made it to. And I've made 12 of these hearts. So I've repeated the 4 repetitions 12 times. And so now what I've done, the last row that I did is the first row. So I just did another part of that chevron after I finished the 12th repetition. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to do the triangle ends. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to start on whatever side you'd like. I'm going to start on the left side. So I'm going to take these 2 strings at the very edge, and I'm going to take my red string and my pink string, and I'm going to do a backward forward knot with my pink string onto my red string, like that. And you want to make sure you kind of pull this in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my red and my pink string together as one. And I'm going to take my next red string that's in line right here. And I'm going to hold these 2 strings together, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to be doing a backward forward knot onto both these strings. And then I'm going to take my pink string, which is my last string, and I'm going to again be holding all of these 3 strings together, so both of the reds and the pink string. And I'm going to take my pink string and I'm going to again do a backward forward knot. Okay, so now I have finished doing the triangle end on my left side, and now I'm going to do it on my right side. So I'm going to take my red string and my pink string, and I'm going to take my pink string and I'm going to do a forward backward knot onto my red string. And now I'm going to hold my pink and my red string together as one, and I'm going to take my red string, the next in line, and I'm going to do a forward backward knot on both the pink and the red string together. And then I'm going to hold my red string, my 2 red strings and my pink string together, and I'm going to take my next pink string in line, and I'm again going to do a forward backward knot on all of the strings. And yeah, guys, we have now finished the triangle ends. So now what I'm going to show you guys is how to do these twisted ties at the end, like these ones. So to do twisted ties, it's actually quite simple. How I do the twisted ties is I like to have 2 different colors. So like on this bracelet, I divided my whites and my purples. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on this bracelet right here. So I'm going to divide my pinks and my reds. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to twist both of your different sections the same way towards my left. And then I'm going to twist these 2 onto themselves to the right side. And while I'm twisting to the right side, I'm also twisting to the left to make sure that I have more. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I reach the length that I want. Once you've reached your desired length, you're just going to tie an overhead knot. And then I'm just going to repeat the exact same thing on my other strings right here, and then you're basically finished with your bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you guys did, please do give this video a big thumbs up, and if you like this type of content, please do consider subscribing. I hope you guys have a good day, and bye guys!